Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. A push tonight by 2 Green Bay aldermen to repeal a liquor license moratorium that dates back almost 30 years.
They say this moratorium creates a hurdle for new businesses, and by removing it, it would help them open up faster. Samantha Cavalli spoke with several city leaders today and is live in Green Bay with a First Alert update. Samantha.
Right, Cammie and Bill. So what I've learned today is that if the moratorium is repealed, that this will impact not only where I am here on the Broadway district, but also parts of Washington Street and also the old Main Street district.
And when you have an old policy, a relic of the past that's still in place, prohibiting businesses from really moving things forward, it's time to address that and eliminate the red tape.
During its Monday meeting of the Protection and Policy Committee, Alderman Brian Johnson and Randy Scannell introduced a proposal which would repeal a decades-old liquor license moratorium. Johnson, who is also the executive director for On Broadway, says the moratorium was geared towards standalone bars and the high concentration of them that caused public safety issues over 25 years ago. The resolution capped the number of bars that could hold liquor licenses, but it made exceptions for restaurants looking to also serve alcohol. It also allows the city council to override the measure to honor a business's request for a liquor license, something Johnson says the council does all the time.
Right now, the city's at a point where we don't have any available liquor licenses, and the conditions that existed when these moratoriums were created are no longer present.
The state of Wisconsin does limit the number of licenses a municipality can issue. Based on population, Green Bay can issue 172 liquor licenses. However, Johnson says it's not about that. It's about making it easier for businesses to get started and get going, saying he wants to make it easier and not harder for businesses to open.
By eliminating the moratoriums, you allow us to expedite those processes, particularly for those that are food-based businesses, where that extra month or two can be a big difference maker.
Whatever the alders decide is in the best interest of the community, and making that balance between having vibrant nightlife and the commerce that brings us, while also keeping that safe. We'll take the direction from the council and we'll make it work.
Now, this has passed at the committee level and will now move on to the Common Council for its consideration. The Common Council will take it up at its next meeting on February 6th at 6 p.m. Reporting live in Green Bay, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.